come to the bold analysis. We lifted the ban on the GMO in a cabinet resolution that was made with Uhuru Kenyatta's cabinet members. And I analyzed that one of the thorny issues that was remaining is on implementation, or rather looking for that policy paper on GMO, on how that ban, how everything is going to be managed, the gatekeeping policy in this land. So one of my viewers from the US sent me a video today just trying to show how the shelves in your supermarket is actually full with GMO, and the organic stuff, there is actually scarcity of the organic stuff. So I checked that video and I want us to look at it because it opens a lid on what was actually behind that decision and how it is impacting into the market base. Now, I want us to watch that video, then we come back. I'll tell you on the regulation framework that is in the US, and we compare what is at home, if perhaps there is something close to what US is doing. But watch the video here.
Yebo, haya, angalia the shelf here. Koja. Haya. Umeona tofauti?
Tofauti kubwa sana. Ni kubwa sana.
Haya, look at this. Organic shelf, angalia. Organic empty. Miaka kamoja. This one, haka. Haya, ile kile GMO. Hiyo ndio GMO. Mnataka kula GMO? Ndio hii hapa. Haya, angalia, walabi wanayapa GMO. Walabi wanayapa GMO. Angalia. Organic ndio hiyo. Ile mbegu mnataka kuua.
Na ile imebaki tu.
Na ile imebaki ndio.
Kuna kidonda hivi.
Ile imebaki.
Na tuwezi baginia hiyo, sasa tutaiacha.
Hiyo mchezo ya GMO hiyo, endeleeni mtajua. Haya. Haya, sisi hapa tena. Angalia. Haya, organic, angalia ka size. Unaona ka size? Hii ni organic. Choma hapa ngoja. Hii ni organic, ni organic. Haya, weka hapa. Ile nyingine, wacha uone ile nyingine. Angalia size. Angalia boflo. Hii boflo ni $2. Endeleeni na GMO. Haya, sisi hawa tena. Akubali, unaona hapa? Hii imeandikwa nini? Organic, natural and organic. Unaona kwa shelf, angalia size. Unaona size? Unaona size? Haya, tuende kwa ile nyingine. Hiyo kwa sale hapa. Angalia, hii ni kuku. Hii ni kuku. Hii. Endeleeni kukula hiyo vitu. Angalia. Sasa hii. Atisizo. Angalia mguu papawe kuku gani yameshana hivi. Ona. Hii ni tayo kuku inakaa kama ya bata. Kuku gani yatoshana hivyo? Angalia tena. Bonge la kuku. Hii ni kuku gani? Endeleeni. Kubalo. Hebu ile mkate. Unaona size? Unaona size? Hiyo size ya mkate ni
size ya twiga.
Hii mkate inaenda na 379. Haya, hiyo chukua hiyo organic. Kwa nini hii size ni ndogo? Kwa vile
ndio hii. Size organic.
Hii ndio hii hapa. Mbona auweze kujiuliza? Mbona hii ni size kidogo? Na hii inaenda na pesa ngapi? $4. Jiulize.
Kwa nini hauna kazi?
Teleni na hiyo GMO. Haya, ingine hapa tumeona. Haya, hebu umeona ile? Hebu toa buffalo. Inasema namna gani?
Hii inasema ukipata mbili ni $2.
Ona 2. For $3.
Hii moja $1.
Na angalia size.
Kama nyinyi Waluya mnapiga hizi mbili.
Mbona inaenda? Mbona wanakupa wanaweka bei ya kutupa? Chungeni sana.
Those gentlemen are in a supermarket. It looks a very busy supermarket. I don't know. They say somewhere in Texas. Is it Texas or Washington, D.C.? I think they said Texas. And they're just trying to sample what is available on the shelves, comparing between organic and GMO. And if you're keen, there is something that I pointed out in that video, that I think in the US there is disclosure, even at the purchase point, that what, so that you know what you are buying is organic, what you are buying is GMO. Oh, I don't know whether that kind of labeling is here back home. Challenge us. I think if someone can, someone within who is very privy to any supply chain in this country, whether it be sugar supply chain or maize supply chain or rice, you can tell us whether such kind of labeling is normally there, but at the point of purchase or rather at the supermarkets, it's normally removed. But personally, I haven't seen where unaambiwa hii kuku ni GMO, hii si GMO. I think there is only, you can't. So if you watch that video, there's some few indications that you can see there. And I want us to look at that. Now, when I was doing my research, I found out that the US have a very well coordinated and a very good framework to regulate GMOs in the United States. And there are 3 federal agencies within the US government that work together to regulate GMO. That is US Food and Drug Administration, FDA. I know people who are from there understand this well. US Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. US Department of Agriculture, USDA. Ensure that GMOs are safe for human, plant, and animal consumption. Safe in terms of health. These agencies also monitor the impact of GMOs on the environment. That is where I was drawing the line. So it was made in cabinet, after cabinet, I know that was a cabinet resolution, it was just an executive order to lift the ban. In the US, there are many aspects, and of course, if you look at these agencies, they are looking into the safety of it and impact on environment. Do we also have aspect of impact on environment back home? Did we involve NEMA? Is there somehow NEMA can do an assessment report on the injection of GMO products in our country, whether it will also have some impact on the environment? You know, we are now planting trees, so we have found different ways of dealing with the environment. At least, I don't know whether we mean well for that. So, the US Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service protects the agriculture in the United States against pest diseases, sets regulations to make sure GMO plants are not harmful to other plants. That's where I read and I was like, okay, look here. The Biotechnology Regulatory Services implements these regulations. Is there a possibility that GMO plants, especially in the agricultural space, can be harmful to other plants? And have we done enough capacity building to our farmers, or even, I think, capacity building and training on how they can integrate the GMOs, or rather the GMO products or factors of production with the technology? Have we told them that if they use it, can have an impact on other plants? So that, because in Kenya we do mixed farming, that's that's something we can't run away from. Especially the subsistence farming, back in the village, you'll find maize and beans. You'll find cassava. Like my mother does cassava. Cassava wana mix na nini na paretram. Njugu ni paretram kweli. Groundnuts. I was saying no. And groundnuts. So have we done enough? I read this article. It was just opening my thoughts on how this is really going to work back home. And I have a feeling, us as a country, we haven't done enough to guard our gates from excesses of the GMO. Why are we bringing it home? From what you can see, there seems to be a surplus of GMO products in the US. And so the narrative that the Kenyan space or the African space can be used as a dumping site is not far-fetched. That is one of the narratives that analysts threw in the way of DNA of the GMO products. That if you look at that video, the supermarkets, it seems they have a lot of it, and what they are lacking is the organic. And I think that was the intention of the guy who was even showing that video. He wanted to show that, look at the way you want to import your organic, you want to export your organic to America, and America is looking for organic stuff. They're now sending. So that is, what is it? And again, even the consumption pattern, apart from availability, could be number one is availability. Number two could be even the consumption perceptions on the GMO is negative compared to the organic. That is why, and of course, when you hear of organic, you run for organic. Who would run for GMO as a priority? There could be that demand creation on organic is upscaled, or rather the level of awareness on the demand for organic is upscaled, and it's hurting the supply of the GMO. So the people who are the producers, or rather the proprietors for the GMO products, are running at some losses. Those are the two perceptions, things that you can very open deductions you can make from that video. But then, with the organic demand, our exports will largely be that. And let me tell you, I have tried personally to export some mayai to Dubai. Hey, not far long, it was this year, and I think I even did that advert. I went through that process. I am telling you, you cannot export something fake to Dubai. It's not very easy. Because in fact, we were supplying to a supermarket. Themselves, in terms of tests and the regulations that they make, the way that the product is assessed, you cannot. Sorry state on our end, people just bring in counterfeits. And they just beat the nets around and make their way, pay the taxes, and they get them into the product. And they know, and I know, I think the foreigners know very well that our borders are very porous. Even our points of entry are very porous. You know, you've heard of stories of laundering. Our airports are very porous. That's the truth, and that's why I insist that the points of entry for any country is actually an asset that there must be a lot of vigilance, because that's a national security asset, especially in terms of food security. So, what must we do? We must establish qualitative regulations anchored on law. And even if some of these, and it touches on the public health, and not only the public health, because from our approach, I think, when we heard of the GMO, we spoke much of the agriculture indeed, but we spoke much about we are going to consume things that are not good for our health, and there have been a lot of other narratives, myths and misconceptions. But the true position here is that when we inject it in Kenya, or rather in our land, in our farms, it can also have impact on other plants. That's what I've read. I'm not doing hearsay. I'm saying something that I've just read in that article there. I should, for reference, I should get you the title of that. I should get you, I know some people, here we do very mature stuff. We don't want to do hearsay. Search US Food and Drug Administration, how GMOs are regulated in the United States. Just go and search. It's FDA. That's their website, and you will just find out. I want us to put it to that level. This is the most informative, political podcast, and we are not bragging about it. Our local industries may be hurt by this move. Our local industries here. If we do a lot of dumping, we'll have a lot at a cheaper price, and that may hurt the other countries. And in fact, the target should be very, and that's why I believe in terms of regulation, I think we must be very vigilant. You know, we import a lot, we even import rice. Our rice we produce here is not enough for us. We even import sugar. So, we even import eggs. I know people don't know. We import eggs from Uganda. You import milk from Uganda. The other day, Waziri Kuria was talking about that. So we must make sure that hata zile zinazokuja directly and other indirect imports, we are very cautious of the decisions we are making. The US video is an eye-opener on what exactly the danger lurking on that move. I can repeat again in this analysis. Personally, I'm really waiting for the day I'll see the policy paper on the GMO ban, if it exists somewhere. That's my point.